All right, so Avatar, you read the script. I'm sure you all love the script. But then there has to be a moment when sinks in, we're going to have to actually make this movie. So for you, what was the initial, like, how are we going to pull this off? Was there any sequence or setting that was most challenging?
Wow. I mean, there's so many sequences. I think the river run for us was a huge one. I think because it was just such an integration between all the effects and the performances, and just with live action plates that were incredibly intricate. It was such a back and forth between all department, and really just kind of highlights all of the collaboration between everybody. So yeah, it's really fun to have those challenges and to try and overcome them.
Okay.
I will also add that things start many years before, and the challenge of bringing Varang to the screen and living up to all of those established characters and making her such a badass, that began many years ago when we first met Una. We were working on The Way of Water. John Landau thought it was a good idea for the actors to meet the animators, and we got to meet Una, and we were so excited to get going with Una, but it actually took many years before we could even start on the character, because she was obviously only in Fire and Ash. And as soon as we got going with her, we were just so excited. What a character to work on. So, yeah, she was a big challenge, and I think everyone at Weta did an amazing job with her.
What about the Wind Trader thing? Because that was, to me, you create a whole world, the Wind Traders, beautiful setting, the woman making a family, and then you get to a battle. For you, what was the challenge for that?
Okay, being a fish smuggler, I worked mainly on Varang and Una, right?
Oh, I know. We'll go back. We'll cut to Varang because we interviewed her. You gotta give her a lot of space. She has to develop as a character. She's really the bit, and also I think one of the most amazing villains I've seen in a long time. For you, what was like developing the character to give her space to breathe before she got the darker scenes where she's battling?
Yeah. So for us, being a fish smuggler, when I saw the design, we knew right away that she's going to be a badass character, right? And her performance is so wild and expressive. It was a really big challenge for us to how can we manage it so that we could capture her expression, performance, while try to match with the Navi world, right? But I think with these amazing facial animators and texture artists with all the war paint, I think we did a pretty good job on it. Yeah.
Yeah, the war paint was critical because we had to make her believable and real. How was that process?
Well, we had a bunch of people on set putting a bunch of cold makeup on and then smearing across her face and doing the whole practical thing. And we captured this and translated it to the CG model. But it was the design that started it all. It's very, stark white, red, and black. It really kind of gives you this villainish kind of vibe. But yeah.
It's amazing to see everything come together, and I think you were bringing up the Wind Trader sequence, and I think that's what Jim does really well, is you've got this huge battle that's happening up there, and you've got 50 Ikran in the background, you've got people running on this ship, but you have these moments where you punch in on this beautiful facial model that has this iconic face paint with this facial animation that's all brought together, and it's one of those things where it's just such a harmony of so many departments, and there's thousands of people working on these films, and it's just such a privilege to be a small part of that, and to see all of those individual disciplines come together into one, final image on screen, Yeah,
and a painstaking amount of detail goes into this. I mean, Steve mentioned it while we were up on stage, talking about every pixel is kind of inspired by Una. That's exactly right. All of our animators are looking through every little detail, trying to feel the emotion that we get from Una and ask the question, are we feeling it on Varang? And sometimes that involves a tiny little eye dart, a tiny little extra squint in the, a little sticking of the unsticking of the lips, maybe a little ear move just to help sell a bit of kind of inner monologue or inner feeling. Every little detail from the neck, the throat, the breathing, the breath, it's all created by an artist that cares passionately about translating that performance onto Varang. And I'm just so proud of the whole team, everyone involved in Varang. Congratulations.